Well, guys, we made it out here to the Diesel Life farm. We bought a curb machine. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but we bought one. Looks like you've had starting fluid out here already, huh?
Yeah, we have. At least make it look difficult, please, Bruce, because this is my first
That white knob right there is a prime button.
Yeah, fuel primer.
Yeah. Used to do the trick.
Where's the throttle at?
That's the throttle, but just reach down there and pull it with your hand.
Okay. Well, maybe. There we go. All right. Just trying. I mean, it's just the engine's just tired. Grab one of our jump boxes real quick, Ryan. So anyways, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I can see where this thing's huffing raw fuel, I guess getting fuel. It's just not spinning over fast enough, I think, to fire off. So I don't know where the hour meter's at. This thing probably has a piss load of hours on it.
It's got 10,000.
Lots of hours. There it is, right there. That one says 4,100 hours. So
it stopped working.
Sounds pretty low to me.
6,000 hours ago.
All right, well, this thing should spin over a lot faster with our jump pack on here.
Probably. Oh shit, yeah we do. Pouring? Oh yeah. Pouring pretty good.
Very good.
Load it fast.
Better get that ramp down. We'll get it butted up right to whatever the ramp is at.
I've got some hydraulic wall.
Does it move pretty quick, Chris? Or no?
No, they're not very fast. They're a couple mile an hour.
I just wondered if I get it like right here to it, so we're not trying to walk it.
I'm not worried about it spilling.
Well, I just don't want it to run out.
I've got some.
Okay. All right, so I can't remember. We're gonna figure out how to drive this thing. It's leaking oil. So which way do we go on? Is that the front or that the back?
This way, like this.
It's going. If you don't know what's front or back, it's going to take you a minute to put me out of business.
You're gonna just stay up there with me, Chris? What if we can bring that leg in anymore? Is it too wide right now or something?
No, that's all the way in.
No, it's all the way in. It'll load.
Oh yeah, I see where he's saying. All right,
Give it that magic touch.
I ain't gonna jinx it.
I don't even. Jump box one more.
What you got there?
A curb machine.
Hey, you like it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
What are we gonna call this new business?
Bruce hates Chris.
Curb King.
There you go. There's already one out there. Hey, before you go, we need to put a bolt or something in this.
So the whole thing don't slide out.
Yeah, so you don't slam on brakes and drop it.
So the whole reason we got this thing is it's got a 4BT Cummins in it. And we were talking about this, and my Ranger is starting to be a piece of junk yesterday. So I might have to put this in the Ranger.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know.
We need to secure these panels and stuff. Otherwise,
We'll just leave this grease gun up here. You want your battery out of here?
yes, I need it if you don't need it.
Ah, dang.
Hey,
Hey.
don't show Amber what's on the back here.
Oh, Chris already told me. What is this for?
These sensor arms.
Do you need any of that stuff for your new machine?
Nah. I called in the big guns.
Had to get it done.
What'd it take you to put it on the trailer? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
I've got 10 hours in it.
Well, I had to call you back and make sure you actually wanted to sell it. So Chris called me.
Stick to what you know.
Yes, the day before. I don't. What'd you even say? You're like, can you come out and start this thing? Do a wheel
I said,
start on. I said, what do you
come
want?
fire this thing up. Do you want a 4BT? If so, you can take it.
He was really mad and heated on the phone. So I called him the next day. I'm like, are you sure you want to get rid of this thing? He's like, yes.
Come get it.
Because in the heat of the moment, I'll give something away. And the next day, I'm like, yeah, I take that back.
Now, don't start cussing me when you start a new project now.
Getting the engine out of it's the next thing.
I mean, I don't know what you did, but it fired right up. I guess I just didn't have enough juice to it.
Crazy. Sure you know how to change stuff down?
Not with one of these. I don't think I like it.
How do you like it?
Fired it up and
Well, guys, we made it back home. This thing is a lot heavier than Chris says it is. Tires are squatting on this old boy, and the axles, man, holy cow. Dude, oh, they're bottomed out. This thing might be way too heavy. Dude, I wonder if we broke something, actually. They don't look too good. Well, they don't look like they bottomed out any, but them boys are heavy. I think this thing's a lot heavier than Chris thought it was. Oh my gosh. I hope I didn't tear my trailer up. Let's look up the specs on it right quick, see how heavy this curb machine is. I know we don't need a curb machine, but we've got one. Yeah, let's look up specs. Alright, so we found it right here. It says weight can vary depending on size of mold and options. 20,000 pounds is what this thing weighs.
jeez.
So it's within weight, but definitely heavy on these axles. These axles ain't liking it at all. Well, let's get this thing unloaded. Should cheat right up. I guess we'll play with it and see. We got all this dirt right here. I've never had one of these before, and then we'll see about tearing in and trying to see what model 4BT Cummins has got in it. I've got my Ranger, and it's been pissing me off lately, so maybe we'll be Cummins swapping the Ranger. Who knows? I've always wanted a diesel Ford Ranger. That'd be cool. I got the hiccups. I ate too many goldfish. Well, this is going to be super sketchy because my friends are here to help me not wreck. Babe, I hope you got life insurance on me. She's going to cheese right up. Imagine this engine in a Ford Ranger.
Like real bad, dude. Not as bad now.
Well, guys, you've seen where it's pouring hydraulic oil really bad. I see where the leak is. It's for the hydraulic pressure gauge. So we got our welder wired in here thanks to my boy Jake over at JTTV, my brother-in-law. And we're gonna get this thing wired, or I'm making a plug for that hose. We'll get it put on there to quit leaking oil over the parking lot. Oh, it's so spicy. Oh shoot, we're gonna melt a hole in our thing. Like that, cooled down. Crazy, right? Crazy. Little shop update since we seen you on YouTube last, other than our live last night. We've been doing lives, and we're gonna be starting to call those lives the Blue Collar Hour. So instead of running a podcast, we're just gonna go live on YouTube, and it'll upload to the interwebs, and you guys can check it out. So if you're looking for the next Blue Collar Hour, we're gonna have different guests on the show here and there. It might just be us goofing off in the shop, but since we've seen you all last, we have more pallet racks added all the way across there. We've got more things we've got to unpack. We've got the cab over and everything stuck up there out of the way. Blake got the trailer we moved a lot of our stuff over here with completely empty. He's working on my Ranger. All right, let's go put this block off plug in there. Hopefully this thing quits leaking oil. We can get it off the trailer. I mean, if it ain't leaking oil, I might just pull it in the shop now. Blake can work on pulling the engine out of that thing. 4BT, baby. Also, if you haven't already, get entered to win Blue Collar the Cabover. Every dollar spent at BruceWilsonShop.com gets you one entry. Since you've seen the truck class, I had our guys from Big Dog Polishing come by, polished up the old deck plate, got her looking the best you possibly could because this thing was in rough shape. He hit the headache rack. Dude, look at how shiny that thing is. For real. Turned out freaking sick. He'll be back next week to do the tanks on it. This thing's coming along. So go to BruceWilsonShop.com, guys, and get entered. So there's lots of gauges on this thing. Oh, I think a fitting might be too small or too big. Heck yeah, God dang it. So this hose right here, we need to plug off. Ooh. Well, let's go look and see if I got a -4 fitting, because that's a -6. All right, let's try this again. See if Ryan gets the right size this time. All right, I think I got the right size this time. Boom. Screws right in there. These crescent wrenches. And start it back up, and that should be one leak fixed. Now you can only imagine, like, you think that this thing, you could still go out and use this machine, but just imagine you're on some big job and this thing starts blowing hoses everywhere because it's like 20 years old, and it starts costing you more money in fines than you're making. So it's partially why Chris and them replaced it with a newer model. Oh, I'm surprised it's working with that button pushed in. Remember, he said it shouldn't work. But it started working, so hey, let's try to unload it again. All right, watch it and see if it's still leaking or not.
Okay, yep. Now. Good.
Guys, this video is kind of getting boring because there wasn't nothing going on. We got this thing, got it unloaded. It wasn't hard to start. I figure the guys you got to kick out of here, but I'm going to get this thing engine out tonight. I don't think it's going to take much to it, but it's leaked so much hydraulic oil. We found a bunch of miscellaneous oil we've had laying around the shop. We're just going to fill it up. Now that we fixed that leak, I'm going to get it in the shop. I think I can get the engine out without having to get too crazy. I'm just going to cut this cage off of here. We'll get into that engine and come right out. This never comes right out. We're going to try.
I was about to say.
Is there oil in the Ranger or no? Got some used motor oil right here. Oh, this stuff's black. Hydraulic pump's gonna love this.
You haven't even gotten to the best one.
What's the best one?
Great. Oh, that is it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like used engine oil, like diesel oil.
Yeah, that's been at the shop longer, not been working.
Better than nothing.
A bunch of dead dinosaurs. Oh boy. Cut. Looks like it's just me and you, YouTube. The guys, it's their time to get out of here on a Saturday. They work Saturdays every other Saturday or every now and then, but I'm getting this engine out of here today. It's gonna be just me and the torch and the forklift. Me, torch, forklift, yes. And maybe unless someone else shows up, but this thing's coming out. So my plan is to go ahead and start getting all the panels off of here, and then we're gonna take the torch and start cutting away. Well, first things first, this thing's got a vibrator we don't need. If I could find some crackhead on Facebook that needs one, but we don't. That'll definitely hurt your toe. There's a bunch of these things on these. How many did they need? So I told my buddy Chris he could have all this stuff. All the junk. Alright, getting in here. This thing's probably a little warm because the, oh yeah, she had fan belt broke. But it's a 4BT, so 4-cylinder, turbo, Cummins diesel. These things are super hard to find with the inline injection pump configuration. You'll see that in just a second once we get out of here. But Scott, I've got some ideas. I'm thinking either we put in the Ranger, who knows. All right, I think first things first, we're gonna figure out how to get the top off of this thing. And then we're going to figure out how to get the bottom off of it. It looks like this whole thing just like bolts onto it, but there's an oil cooler right here, and I don't want to make a big oily mess. I want to get the engine out without making a big mess, so we'll find out how to get the top off of it first. All right, YouTube, I got the liquid metal machine out here. We're trying to set the shop on fire. Welding hood here is actually dual purpose. It's a speed glass, so I can change the shades of it so I can use it for using while using a cutting torch or welding with it. So I guess we'll start and try to get the top off of it first, then I'll see about getting the bottom off. Problem is I got all these dried leaves up here. I'm afraid this would start a fire. So to be careful where I'm pointing this torch at, that's for sure. Well guys, I was doing some cutting, almost burned it down. Should have been freaking recording. Had to break out the old fire extinguisher. It's alright, you get down these big jobs sometimes, but fire's out. I've got most of the bolts around this whole big thing cut. There's a lot more to it than I thought, honestly, but we're gonna get this thing out of here, that's for dang sure. Wish I had some kind of like a really strong sawzall. But for now, I'm gonna get the forklift, pick up on like this side of this thing and see if I can pick it up and see what I need to keep cutting off of it. Alright, now that that's out of the way, I think we can get the, yep, that fan belt definitely shredded. Start cutting some wires, and I'll move the camera and tripod over here. This video is probably really boring, but I'm gonna get some content out. Share with you guys the stuff that we do off camera, the stuff that's not so easy. So I'm gonna get this big bell housing thing off here where the hydraulic pump is and just lay it out of the way so we're not messing with the hydraulic system and leaking oil everywhere. And then most of the motor mount bolts are just like that right there. And I think there's a couple up front. We'll get those out, drain the coolant, and we should be able to pick the motor right up out of there. Fingers crossed. Gonna start cutting a bunch of wires first though. All right, I got some cutter pliers right here in my pocket. I'll start cutting all these wires loose. Already started cutting a few. Get this freaking throttle cable cut. This thing ain't no joke. I don't think it will cut. That's like that main, like, real heavy duty stuff. I don't know if it's got any coolant in it or not. Definitely a little toasty. There's no pressure in the radiator, so we should be okay to open the radiator up. That's probably why it ain't coolant. Ain't got no coolant in it. Need a good pair of cutters because these are not cutting it, literally. Oh boy. Dang, these things are terrible. You'd think I'd have some good tools in this shop, but there we go. Dang. All right. Yeah, she's got some coolant in it, not very much though. Just wiring harness off this engine, because if I do put this thing in something, I'll be building my own wiring, so don't need any of this stuff. That turbo looks lovely. Definitely doesn't sound very healthy. All right. Well, I just gotta unhook the ground wire from right there. That. Get rid of these coolant hoses. It's like maybe one bolt up there in the front holding the. This is all very hot. I can't really lean on nothing. The fan hub locked up. I think I bent it. That's all right. This belt all around in here on this thing. We will prevail. All right. Didn't really need to do all that, but I did it anyways. Whatever. All right. Looks like there's an oil drain line for the engine oil. We don't want to mess that up, leak engine oil all over the floor. It just kind of chilling down there. All right, so I guess we'll get the bell housing thing loose here first. Hopefully everybody can see what I'm talking about there. All right, lube tube, we got this bell housing deal unbolted. Just gotta get it pried out off of here. And it's not the lightest thing in the world either. It's blind, so it should come off not too hard, but not too easy, that's for sure. All right, this thing's coming out of here today. Hopefully everybody can see whatever I got going on. I see daylight. Come out of there. Close. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's off the engine. Big old pump shaft them. Rotate it some. There we go. Maybe everybody can see what is going on in there. There's like a spline shaft that rides up in that center there. Okay. Well, we gotta get the positive battery cable unhooked. Wish I had just a big old pair of cutters to cut all this crap loose. Need something to catch the coolant. Got that. That's an 18 millimeter sockets out here somewhere. I just had it. Oh, I lost it already. Grab another one, I guess. Well, there she blows. It's coming off. I'll have to climb up in here to the other side. This thing is a death trap. All right, so I've got the coolant draining right there into a bucket on the ground. We're trying to be as clean as possible. What can I do next? There's a front engine mount underneath the front we gotta get. I guess I can get the upper radiator hose off. That would definitely accomplish something for right now. This is how you remove an upper radiator hose from the tire iron. But it won't listen to you. You just hit it a couple times like that. Boom. One upper radiator hose off. This will unscrew it right here too, that'll make life a little easier. I haven't made a solo work video in a long time. Long time. Comment down below if you guys like seeing this kind of stuff. I wouldn't call it destruction, but I mean the machine's pretty much trash and there's not really any saving other than using it for parts, and most of these engines or these style machines are out of service from the best thing I can find. So alright, one radiator hose out of the way. Pretty much that's pretty much it. It's draining in my bucket almost perfectly. Dude. Uh-oh. That's how you make a mess. Make it drain a little bit faster, maybe. I gotta get to the front bolt underneath the front of the engine there. Well guys, the engine's completely out of this thing. We made minimal mess, just leaked some coolant on the ground. Thankfully that will dry up. No permanent stains in the concrete from oil. our engine's out. Let's look at this engine. I want to tell you a few things about it that makes it very special compared to your average 4-cylinder Cummins engine. So this one, most 4BTs, well, not most, some of them aren't turboed. This one's turboed from the factory, which is kind of a big deal. It's got an inline injection pump, so even though it's an RSV style pump, which is kind of an agriculture or construction style injection pump, it will still work in automotive projects. It's just a little bit older style pump, but just, dude, I went ahead and pulled the, I might have been like a power steering pump off there, which doesn't really need it. Spencer's leaving. Spencer, horn blast for Spencer's heading out. But, dude, just look how compact this thing is. Literally like 2 feet long. So we can put a different bell housing on the back, put it in a Ford Ranger, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but we've got a 4-cylinder Cummins. I'm just going to start stacking engines right over there. You know, we'll just have an engine, so when a project does come along one day, we've got an engine to go in the project. So super freaking cool. I'm pumped to have it. This thing, on the other hand, getting it out of here now is going to be something else. What I'm thinking is I'm going to unbolt the cover on these final drives here and pull the sun gear out of there, and then it should roll. It's just going to be getting it to roll on the trailer. We do have the winch, so I'm thinking we get the trailer backed right in here to it, hook the winch to it, and then take the forklift and push it on there also. And then in order to scrap it, we got to drain all the oil and fuel out of it because they won't take it with liquids in it, I don't think. We'll try, but I'm not sure. So folks, a little bit of a different video than we usually have, but shout out to our guys over at Diesel Life. You should check them out on YouTube. Their channel's been growing. Chris has been pumping out a really great amount of content to get up there and just join the YouTube community with the rest of us. Go to brucewilsonshop.com, get entered to win, and grab your Blue Collar merch. Our Brutus t-shirts and all that are live on the website. Really cool stuff. All the way down to our Will It Start key tag. Something as simple as this can get you entered to win Blue Collar the Cabover. So, brucewilsonshop.com. Every dollar spent gets you entered to win the Cabover and $5,000 in cash. Who can use some extra cash? Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see more content of us working on stuff and yanking engines out of things. You can almost call us Diesel Creek at this point. Not much of Will It Start. We'll see you guys later. Peace.